Hugh?
Well, Walter, even before he names all the animals, Adam is put to work by God to tend the garden.
Oh, yes.
And this is a magnificent garden, so the task of tending it and working it is not a trivial task.
Yeah.
You know, he's literally had 3 careers. Here he's a gardener, and then he's working with the animals. He's in animal husbandry.
Yeah.
Then he goes through this operation. Now he has a
He
third
was
career.
outside the garden, and God put him in the
Exactly.
garden to
So he had
work
time
it,
outside the garden,
yeah.
and he was put in the garden, worked the plants.
Yeah.
So the whole point is you just can't jam all that stuff into a few seconds at the end of a 24-hour period. And keep in mind, God created a lot of animals before he created Adam. So that was all going on the 6th day as well.
Yeah.
All right, so drive that point in. Conclusion?
Well, the conclusion is that God is the master workman here, and God is doing an enormous amount of activities. And what we have is in capsule form, what looks like, well, you could have done that in a flash, but actually he deliberately uses the words there to work, to tend the garden, the naming process, the getting lonely process. I mean, you don't just get lonely after and say, okay, these 3 minutes I'm lonely.
Right.
It takes more of an expanse there. And I think this is opening up the opportunity for us to say, now wait a minute, this day is a day like none of the days we've seen in our experience of Yom.
All right, we're going to take a break in a moment. Before we do, for all the people that have missed the first couple of programs, summarize why we believe that Yom, the literal interpretation of the Bible, leads to long periods of time and not a literal 24-hour day. Kind of summarize the points we've already gone through.
Context, 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 context. It is the Scripture's right to first determine that meaning. We have 3 of these yoms that are before, on the 4th day, God creates 24-hour ones. We have evening and morning, which don't complete the whole cycle, and we begin with the evening for pity's sake. I would have thought we have started with the morning, but we begin with the evening, go to the morning. We still haven't finished up the afternoon and come round. And also because Moses, the same one, gives us one psalm, Psalm 90, and he said, I'll give you an analogy. A day, a yom with the Lord it's like 1,000 years. And that's not to say it equals a millennium, but he is saying, do you understand in the enormity of the magnificence of God? How big is our idea of God? Does he have to come down to our little use of the words? No. Let him define his words first.
So it's 3 different literal definitions for Yom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.